Hey everybody, it's Kuddlesnot, and I'm here with our special Crucible episode, bonus episode, something. I'm not sure if this is going to be 2 or 3, but we will find out. If you don't know where I'm walking to, it doesn't matter because you get to the Crucible from any of the overworld maps. Every single one has a Crucible in one of the corners, and here's the one in the Forge Lands. And they're all the same, they're just, so you can access it from anywhere. Alright, so then if you didn't know, you need the Crucible Pass in order to do this. This is also the same, online pass you need to use the online mailbox. But you get that with every new game, or you can buy it separately if you bought the game used and the code was already inputted. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. That's the normal, trying to avoid resale thingamajigger all the big studios are doing. Anyway, so let's go over my build real quick. I am level 30. I have completed my New Game Plus, everything but the Well of Souls, because don't do that, then you reset to level 1. I've turned in all of my Stone Bites. As you can see, I have crazy Arcane Critical Damage. Arcane Critical Chance is just my base, and then with my skills, everything is good. So all my stuff is focused on Arcane Critical Chance, Arcane Critical Damage, and Arcane. And then the rest, defense, resistance, basic stuff. And then you guys know my basic build. If you want to know my basic build, go watch episode 40, and I go over the whole thing as well as make my possessed weapons. You see Arcane Critical Chance, Arcane Critical Damage, Arcane, Resistance, because I just need an additional thing, and I had like 90 resistance without it. And then here's my possessed double size. Critical Damage, Hellsteel, Wrathsteel, Execution Chance. And again, go to episode 40 if you want to find out about all that stuff. Then my skills. I went through the entire game already again, so I have all 49 possible skills to spend. And I spent it all on my Necromancer tree, and I spent it on everything. And I said this wasn't as useful as the rest of it, and that for the most part that's true, but now that we have a bunch of Wrath and a bunch of other stuff, it's very, very, very good in conjunction with, the normal normal Aegis Guard, whatever, Murder, and Ghoulies. So yeah, this is good. And again, this is all 49 points. And go watch episode 41 if you want to see me explain the way that I distribute all of these. That's my Darksiders 2 100% walkthrough, and there'll be links all over the place. Anyway, all right, so let's do this thing. I have done this on another, system, on another game file, but I haven't done on this one. Not on this game file, on another system. So hopefully this goes smoothly, but we will see.
Ah, I see you got our little invitation. Welcome then to the Crucible! Here, the strongest are tested, and the weak are destroyed!
Okay. And it is possible to fall off this thing because it doesn't quite go up fast enough, but hey, whatever. And then this guy has quite a bit to say to us.
Let me explain the rules, of which there are few. The more creatures you defeat, the deeper into the Crucible you'll go. At intervals, you'll be offered a reward. If you take the reward, you must exit. If not, you may continue. But if at any time you fall, you will earn nothing. Oh, and one last thing. No one has ever finished the Crucible, besides me. Do you wish to enter?
If you've already, done a little bit, or if you want to play it in chunks, that is possible, because at level 25, 70, 50, and 75, it'll be like waved unlock, and you just jump immediately to those waves. However, if you want to fight Wicked Cave, reach level 101, and get that last, pesky achievement for your BFA, then you have to start from level 1, wave 1, and go all the way to 100, and then defeat Wicked K. Otherwise, you won't be able to reach him at all. Okay, and then we'll get going, and I'll talk a little bit as we start fighting. And you'll see I'll just start destroying stuff so quickly it's not even funny. Although it does slow down, of course, as they get stronger. So, basic thing, you can play, up to level 75, I believe, in your original game when you're level 22 before you start your New Game Plus, because you can only reach level 100 after starting your New Game Plus. Because level 25 is when you unlock. Sorry, level 25 is when you unlock the last 25 waves of the Crucible. But however, if you do that and then restart your game, then start your New Game Plus, then all of the waves will be reset. It'll be as though you've never been in here. So you'll have to start from level 0 automatically no matter what. And then as you also see at some point, after every 5 waves, he will ask if you want to get some loot or keep on going. So no matter what, you will get the special rewards at the end of like wave 25, wave 50, wave 75, 100, 101, all that stuff. You don't have to exit in order to get those. However, you do need to exit if you want to get the chests that are there. But that's not usually the best plan because again, you're trying to reach level 101, wave 101 without stopping. And that's what asked me, right? Oh, it is wave 5 today. Okay, that was easy. That was really easy. 1 minute, 30 seconds, 28 seconds for the first 5 waves. He's asked if we want to stay or keep going. So they give you leveled loot, and it's not really worth it until you reach level 75 if you're at end game, because at around level 75, or I should say level 50, you start getting like level 20 items, and then after 75 you get like 25, 26, 27, 28. So if you are doing this just for like loot chests, regular old skull punch based loot chests, then you can do it that way. However, at end game, it's really not it. You're doing it for the achievement, you're doing it for the to say that you did it, and I'm doing it for the challenge. So that's not what it's really for. It's here to get that last piece of Abyssal armor, or last 2 pieces of Abyssal armor, and as well to defeat Wicked K. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it. Now it's just me, plowing through these waves like they're fucking butter. I do love me some butter. Like I have as much arcane critical damage as possible, over 500%. So literally all my stuff just like destroys, and then when I have Aegis Guard up, it does even more, and it puts my arcane critical chance above 100%. So every single one of my hits by my ghoulies, by my murder is a critical. So they just rip through everything. And I have seen runs of of mostly people with Harbinger builds, because they believe the critical damage, critical chance with the weapons is the fastest way to go through everything. And to be fair, it is a little more exciting because it's much more active of a fighting style as opposed to the passive send your minions to go kill everything. But we will actually, do after this. We can you yourself can check some of those 101 runs with those Harbinger builds and see who's faster. Because I bet if I don't get distracted by all my talking, this will be a little bit faster.
I believe this one may go far.
I remember the health steal, wrath steal.
So far. Is it the prize and freedom?
No, just
or more punishment.
no. I'll risk it. Let's go. Okay, and he has to do that again every 5 waves, so you get a little annoying when you just want to keep going. Of course, before you start this, I should have said this at the very beginning, make sure you have all of the potions, because you won't be able to replenish potions anytime. None get dropped, there's no opportunity to do so. So even if you don't think you'll need them, because I probably won't need very many, maybe some towards the end, it doesn't hurt to have a full stock, especially because, like me, if you have, millions of coins, over 6 million. Oh, now is there sentinels. Gotta shoot them down. Good. And, no you don't. I could go a lot faster if I do my normal, like, birds, ghoulies, Aegis Guard. But, that feels a little boring. At least for me. Maybe not to watch. You know what? That's more important to watch. Okay. We'll do the formula. And then we also have the floating wrath's heads. And that's kind of a good way to pinch it off, if you will. Murder, ghoulies, Aegis Guard. Then the rest of your wrath is for the nope. Okay, fine. I was trying to take down Sentinel, but whatever. Because murder can do that pretty well, I think. I can say my guns are more effective than my crows. Nope, they're not. And this is a long time coming because I started this guide back when the game was launched, And finally we get to the Crucible. Thing I probably got the most questions about. Oh, and there's one other thing. This is pretty self-explanatory, and if you are someone that actually did it, then I feel really bad for you. And I only have a little bit of sympathy because maybe there's some justification to the thought, but knowing the way the game's set up, of course it is the way that it is. If you're playing on Nightmare mode, if you die in the Crucible, you're dead. The Crucible is not special compared to the rest of the game. You die in the Crucible with a combat death. So that's the end. So I would not recommend doing the Crucible at all on Nightmare because it's just a stupid risk. You don't get anything really tangible from it. You can get all that stuff, the Abyssal armor and stuff, with an apocalyptic run as opposed to the Nightmare run. So just don't do it. It's that simple. Okay, come on. Death needs a lesson in reloading because he just kind of keeps his gun pointed at it. Because he seems to reload it really fast because as soon as he actually moves his hand to reload, it's almost instant. But he's like, he needs lessons on how the gun works so he knows when it's out of ammo. Because obviously, shooting it with nothing coming out isn't enough of an indication. And just rips through everything, and then just a dash throw to one of those replenishes pretty much all of my wrath, and that's it. Boom. Already done. And my Aegis Guard is setting lightning bolts everywhere. No, wrong move. There we go. Boom. 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 It's like clockwork. And I say this when I'm, actually referring to my builds in episode 40 and 41. But definitely the weakness of this build is defense and resistance. So, but the nature of the build is that you're dodging around because it's so hands-off with the minions. You can just spend all your time dodging and not have to worry about, getting in range, attacking. You just stay out of range, use your arcane wrath powers, and you will be fine. But you just have to keep an eye out because you can easily get cornered, and especially towards, the end, 89, 90, 95, that area. Just be careful, man. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Although I gotta admit, the music is pretty awesome. Oh, and people that watch my Let's Play know this is not my favorite boss, although again I just ripped it apart like it was, switched. Wow, I'm just off my game today. I can't even come up with a reference. What can we do? We can do Gorewood. Every time Gorewood, just like the crows, ripping through them like Swiss cheese. That's way too on the nose. There's got to be something obscure yet clever I can come up with, but maybe not. Maybe it just ain't gonna happen today. Gorn and Garn at the same time. That's a doozy. Except not. And he does his own explosions. Use Aegis Guard. Do the dodge. Oh, I guess he's not taking a whole lot of damage from my ghouls because he's fire. Alright. Let's see, this will barely take any damage, and boom. Done. So they're a little adaptation to the situation, but not a problem. Not a problem. And wave 25. All of them again. Oops. Come on, ghoulies, do your thing. And I'm still barely taking any damage. That's because it's I can even lock onto it. That's because it's a low level. But that sorts of hits do become dangerous in later waves, as you will see, I'm sure. Heartstone Talisman for completing through level wave 25. This talisman has kept many warriors alive when they would otherwise have fallen upon the field of battle. The Heartstone Talisman throbs with restorative energy, a bastion that enhances its wielder's health. Alright, let's take a quick look at it. If I remember correctly, it's just... yeah, so it just increases your health and probably has a little bit of regen, even though it doesn't say there directly on its effects. But just another legendary to add to the collection. Not necessarily the most useful thing. Although, you could easily done this earlier in the game because, you know, through level 25 is very doable, you know, 15, 16, 17. So, you could have gotten it earlier when it might have been more useful if you were, you know, dying a lot. Maybe that's a nightmare thing, but again, risking nightmare, especially that last couple waves, not worth the risk. But like I said, I held off on doing the Crucible in my original 100% because it technically is DLC, but it's not, so I'm including it in the normal walkthrough. But also, it means I can keep all of them in one video. You know, get all of the items, Wicked K, all that in one single video, which is nice and together, and if anyone's searching for it can find exactly what they need because everything's in the one video. I guess except for my actual builds because I go over that in other videos. So simple, so easy. I guess maybe one element that's slowing stuff down is that, especially when there's a bunch of these little guys like this, the crows and the ghouls aren't that smart on picking, like kind of spreading out and picking targets. So it takes them a little while to kind of eat through each one. But, you know, when there's a couple of big guys, they just, you know, gang up on them and take them down like they're nanites eating a, you know, something. Insert Futurama reference. Or Star Trek reference, or anything that has nanites in it, which seems to be most science fiction. And the execution move to fill up all the bars. Remember that with Wrathsteel and Hellsteel, and I have execution chance on there on purpose because any execution whatsoever detonates or ends all of your Wrath powers, which is important for the ghouls because you're going to use it as like a bomb trigger. And it refills all your bars no matter what you kill with execution moves. So, very important aspect of the strategy.
I believe this one may go far.
That could have gone a little faster. I was not being very smart with everything.
Would you take this prize and leave?
But I'm not trying to set any records. I just want to... I am fully convinced that this is, you know, the strongest build possible because it's my build, of course. And I know many people figured out how to exploit Hellsteel and Wrathsteel, so by no means original. But all these other ones, you know, Kindus Fangs for, you know, the Hellsteel, and then no, they're like, yeah, cool stuff that kind of like the game kind of lends itself to, but there's this overpowered, you know, Wrathsteel Hellsteel setup that just blows all the rest out of the water. And, you know, game theory and all that stuff. Where the simplest and most powerful solution will always be used is essentially the nutshell of that. There is a button. Oh, come on. If there's a single attack that's the most powerful and can be used over and over again, it will be. You know, why have all these complicated combinations that aren't as effective and harder to figure out? Oh, okay. Maybe it's kind of fun to figure that kind of stuff out, but, you know, this is the best one, and this is the best one. And I'm going to shut up talking about this thing because, you know, you can do whatever you want and you'll have fun. So, it's just a game, Kuddlesnot, just a game. There we go. Using the... I actually didn't mean to do that, but let's use the ghosts just to rape them apart. Yep. Rape him apart. That sounds violent. Mm-hmm. Glug glug. It certainly is.
Would you take this prize and leave?
The thirst for blood.
He chooses to fight on.
I'm choosing to fight on. Who's surprised about that? Not me. And I don't have any wrath. There we go. One attack. Got it all back. And boom. All gone. Absolutely destroyed. And you're like, oh no, but he doesn't have any wrath. Well then, one attack while they're, being summoned. And we're back in business. Boom. Just icing on the cake. All done. I totally thought that was an item. That was one of those lich vases being this. Not so good with these things. Well, I guess these guys are, but the crows are not. They don't like attacking small things sometimes. Perfect amount of bullets. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. All dead. Kind of name of the game. It's just everything's gonna die. I guess one thing I could talk about is I waited until the very end of my New Game Plus, so I have all the skill points, all the stone bites, so I'm in the most ideal position, and then I also built my weapons after I reached level 30. So I'm in the most ideal position, but really once you hit 30 and you have level 30, possessed weapons, you don't need all this extra attribute from the stone bites or the additional skill points from quests or relics. You'll really be fine with what you got. No, I'm going. Okay, stop asking me. Just let the option push through until death or something. What was I talking about? Oh, right. So, actually, wait. I don't remember. I do remember, but I don't remember in what point of it I was. Oh, right. Okay, so level 30, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not using my secret weapons. Okay, so once you reach level 30, you don't need all the stone bites, you don't need all the extra relic skill points or quest skill points. You'll be fine with what you got with level 30 weapons and the skill points that you do have. And you'll just be able to do, it pretty easily. I'm just in the most ideal position. But if you're just an achievement hunter, then once you reach level 30, all you got left is the Crucible for those last, for the BFA and those last couple of achievements. Complete the Crucible and defeat Wicked K. So, there we go. So that's something to keep in mind. That level 30 gets, spend your boatman coins, get some possessed weapons. Boom, boom, boom. I spent all mine, 0. Boom, boom, boom. And then just tear through the Crucible, and then you have, 1,000 gamer scored or platinum trophy the game. So. Wait, 44. Scarabs! And I keep using that weapon, I don't know why. Although they do tear through them pretty well, they also tear through pretty well. But it's the combination of the 3 summon and the Aegis Guard that really seem to do the most. See, already gone. Already gone. What is that? That is it's what? Mm-hmm. You know it. Now let me keep going. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Thank you, sir. Like 46. Boom. 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 I guess I didn't use that last one. But it sure does look cool. Cool to like come up to me to explode. Thanks, guys. That's very thoughtful of you. Chase guard. Already gone. Already gone. What? It seems like cheating. This really seems like cheating. I press, 3 buttons and everything dies. Like, after all the work we've done so far, that seems way too easy. Not that, any part of the game's been exceedingly difficult, but you know what I mean. I'm 49. Almost level 50. Almost way 50. Okay, boom, boom, and boom. There we go. Easy peasy. It's like playing Parcheesi. Well, Parcheesi is not that easy. Depends, your opponents, but hey, that's not the point here. The point is we're playing a video game, not some god 4-second board game. Although, board games are pretty legit. Yes, I just said legit.
The thirst is with this one.
Abyssal boots are... We only got one more piece left after this. Abyssal boots. Abyssal boots are the portions of the 4 portions of the war gear. I'm not going to read this whole thing again. Prepared, armored footwear, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's got the same stats as the other one. I guess I'll take a quick look at it. Although I will do something as well for the New Game Plus video. So as you can see here, these are level 25. All of the Abyssal armor pieces are level 25, and I have 2 of those. Yes, I do. Except for the Abyssal plate. And I believe this piece, the only thing that's not level 25 that kind of levels up with you, it starts at 25 and then keeps going up, is the Abyssal plate. The other ones stay where they are. And you see they're like 44, 44. The only piece that has more arcane than what I have right now, and not even, see, like the piece I have has more arcane. So it's really pointless for this build. It's good if you have a Harbinger build, but not that great because it doesn't have arcane critical damage up. It just has, it doesn't have critical chance up. It just has critical damage up. So, but that's, I guess, critical chances for the weapons, so it doesn't make any sense. So I take it back. So it's very good for Harbinger builds. Not good for Necromancer builds, even with all that arcane, because you can get plenty of stuff that has better arcane values. And then you also want arcane critical damage on them as well, and that's like critical to my build. I mean, with this Aegis Guard engage, I'm like almost 100% critical chance, arcane critical chance, and then almost 600% additional damage for critical hits for my arcane. So like, geez, Louise, man, it's crazy. And that's after spending as many stone bites as possible on arcane critical damage as well. So there's that. Okay, come on, buddy. Come on. Let me hit you once, and then boom. 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 I'm starting to take a little bit of damage now because we're now on the, level 10 stuff. Stuff actually reaches above level 30, but we're not there yet. Dodge, dodge. And I use those things a little prematurely. I don't have enough wrath to summon the rest of my stuff. And Aegis Guard. There. All done. There's something summoning. There it is. Boom. Dodge. Boom. 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 All dead, even though they're standing in place and not disappearing. Endearing. That's such a nice thing to say to me. Why? Thank you. Thank you so much.
He chooses to fight on.
Boom, 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 boom. Let's do this thing. Boom. Boom. That's gonna be most of this, video. It's just me going boom, boom. And same thing with the Soul Arbiter Maze videos, where it's just combat after combat after combat, and I already finished talking about everything. And I don't want to go into too much detail about stuff on my channel, because this is most likely going to be a lot of people find the video through this because they're all, wondering about the Crucible. Oh, sycophants. Damn the sycophants. These warping bastards I do not like. Oh, no, that wasn't too bad. And I don't want to go on rants about third-party stuff, because then, it's not going to be very relevant later. So, well, I guess, how about this? I talk about the whole THQ going under thing, and then nobody buying Darksiders. So as of this recording, the report is that, there's the open auction that it goes through April, where it's claimed that every single Darksiders every single THQ IP that hasn't already been bought, which was most of them, like Volition and lots, like Volition's the one I jump in my head, because Vigil didn't. It got most of their people got picked up by Crytek, but as of right now, Darksiders franchise has not been sold, so it's very unlikely there's going to be Darksiders 3. If anything, it's going to be a small, party that buys the Darksiders IP so they can get any additional revenue from, the IP itself, rather than actually fund a new one. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping there's a Darksiders 3. But without Vigil making it, and Joe Mad was already off the table before THQ went under. So, is it going to be the same? I don't know. Because, one of the most original, yes, I'll say original parts of this game is the art style. And with Joe Mad gone, that a lot of that kind of goes away. Because the game mechanics borrow so heavily from other games that it's really, some parts are really hard to call original. And it's also very difficult judgment to call it greater than the sum of its parts. So, what makes Darksiders? It's the art. That's really what it is. It's the art. And without Joe Mad, how can there be Darksiders 3? I don't know. It's with, the whole issue around it, and then, THQ going under because Darksiders didn't sell as well as they hoped. It seems like a risky buy for anybody. And then if there is a Darksiders 3, it's certainly not going to be, as large and big as Darksiders 2 was. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping someone's listening to this in like 2 years and they're like, Darksiders 3 is coming out in like next month, and I'm playing Darksiders 2 now to get ready for it. I hope that's the case, but as of this moment, I have some serious doubts. And I'm also not going to address rumors about a particular studio expressing interest in the IP, because they expressed interest, but then nothing came of it. It's possible they're putting in a bid right now for the IP, during this open bid auction sale. But the games that they make, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just not. And when they said they were interested in it, I was happy, but not happy for Darksiders. I was just happy that somebody was interested in it, because if anything, that'll stir other interest in it. Because the studio's game styles are just I don't not think would mesh at all, especially because they don't do many fantasy games, do mostly science fiction. But that's not the point. Again, the main thing is the art, and without Joe Mad, it's not Darksiders. So, I don't know. I think this is the eve of the IP, which is unfortunate, because I'd love to see, Strife in game or Fury in game. That would be so awesome. And they also said they promised they'd make an appearance in this game, but they don't. They just make appearance in the animated cutscenes. So I wanted to see their goddamn character models, but they don't. So that was also a big disappointment. Cutting through all the demon spawn. Who doesn't like some roasted demon flesh for dinner? Because I know I do. Wave 69. No joke there. It hasn't been done a million times. It's like we're all... Like, at least for me, the joke 69, I'm perpetually, you know, just the number 69, I'm perpetually in high school because, like, I can overlook, you know, all the old stuff that we used to laugh at, like hole and you know, anything that sounded like poop, but 69 will always be sexual. Like, I can't disassociate the two. So whenever I see it, it seems like it's mostly avoided, but like even when I see something mundane like this, like wave 69 after going through 68 other waves, I still like snicker. But you know, that's my own immaturity. Nothing you guys need to worry about. Although that immaturity might, you know, be a part of, well, of course it is. It's a part of my personality here. So it's probably for the best. But we'll see. Time will tell, won't it? Won't it? Eat through all the ice. Yum, 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 yum. See, I had a problem with fire before, but no, ice. I guess my crows do do as much damage to ice, but my ghoulies do so much damage, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Oh, and I don't have enough wrath. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, gotta get in the groove. Get in the groove. Boom, boom. There, I'll die. All you die. All you die. Okay, good, you're all dead. Good job, you did what I told you to. I'm so proud of all you nightmare prowler and skeleton things. I'm so proud. Oh, come on, hit something. There we go. Some of the ghouls, some of the birds. Where is he? There he is. Boom, and then we refill our wrath meter. That's right. Die. Okay. Getting towards the end. Almost 3/4 of the way through. Like I said, I mean, as long as I can avoid them, for the most part, I kind of tear through these last waves a little bit more quickly than these other ones because they're bigger guys, and you know, they all get ganged up on and they die. And then execution at work. So I gotta say, the Crucible is definitely tacked on, where it doesn't really sync completely with the rest of the game. At least it doesn't feel like it does. I just tore through Argul like he was last week's pizza that was in the fridge, and if we didn't eat it like right now, it was gonna go away. Barbed Defilers. The Barbed Defilers are a pair of size once carried by the Dead Lord in service to the post-king Argul. The Dead Lord's name and his fate are lost and unknown, even to the scribes of the Ivory Citadel. The Barbed Defilers absorb some of the strange energies within the far reaches of the Abyss, thus the blades defile any foe they strike, weakening the enemy. Similarly, the size increase in power based on the arcane strength of their wielder, which for us is a lot of arcane, but again, we'll lose the health steal and wrath steal, so... You have survived. And again, the health steal wrath steal is kind of critical to the whole regenerating wrath for my arcane build, so there's that. Okay, fighting on. Last group of waves. Boom shakalaka. So another thing I guess I can say is, like I said, you can bow out at any point after, you know, defeating a wave, and then if you've gone past 25, you know, you can start at 25 when you come back, or 50 or 75. And in order to get the rewards, so going through level 25, level 50, level 75, and level 100, those 4 rewards that we've gotten 3 of so far, you can get those if you start, you know, mid-wave. If you start at 25 and go to 50, you can get the level 50 reward. But, again, you can't reach Wicked Killington's, Wicked K, so it depends on what you want to do. And of course, you know, actually sitting down and going through all 100 waves is a little bit of a time suck, or, you know, of a proposition. So, you know, it's up to you. If you just want the Abyssal Armor, you don't need to go from 0 to 100 to get it first. You can, you know, do it in chunks, get to 100, and then get the last Abyssal Armor after completing wave 100, and then start from 0 and go all the way through to reach what your killing did. So good, so good. Stop following me. I don't want you to explode in my face. It's not what I want. I did not give you permission to do that. I don't like it when you just do what you want. It's not cool, man. No sex joke in there. Oh, why'd I summon those? I didn't mean to summon those. No! Now they're just wasted. I don't have any wrath left. Damn it. Wave 80. Oh, my favorite. My favorite. My favorite. And you guys know, because by, I guess actually 2 of my 3 combat deaths in game, in the walkthrough anyway, were these freaking prowlers that freaking suck.
His tenacity is endearing. You have survived so far. Is it the prize and freedom you want, or more punishment? He chooses to fight on!
I'm choosing to fight on! Wave 81. There we go. There we go. And that's the end of you, and one of my favorite kill animations of the whole game. Boom. Wave 82. Summon all the stuff. And boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All dead. All good. Because they're all dead. And for the record, not a single potion used yet. Just want you to be proud of me, Mom. Oh, no, you don't. Freaking sycophant. Okay, there we go. Good boys, good boys. Good floating blue skull things. Good boys. The sycophants reduce my ability to do my Wrath Reserve restore. There we go. Let's get over to this guy. Boom. Okay. You dead yet? Yeah, you're dead. Cool. Cool. And 85, big guys. Big guys and 85. There we go, boom. Oh, no, you don't. And no, you don't. All die. Good stuff.
His tenacity is endearing.
Well, why, thank you, sir.
You have done well. Would you take this prize and leave, or continue further?
All right, here we go with Wave 86. And in case you're wondering, no, I did not die. I stepped away from the recorder, and then the game got messed up, and I had to restart all the way from wave number 1. But otherwise, everything's been the same. Although, I remember I did say at one point, I don't know where, I said at one point that I prefer ghoulies and murder over, you know, the, why can't I use the B move? B move! Fine, I'll just waste that thing again. Over using these, you know, floating skull things. I keep forgetting what they're called. You know what? I'll check it right now because I'm, you know, awesome in that way and I have access to it. Frenzy. Okay, so Frenzy. But, however, I've just been plowing through these waves in like minutes, you know, 25 waves in minutes with Frenzy. So, you know, the main problem is, Let him catch me. Let him catch me. Dodge out of the way. Okay. The main thing is using just Frenzy. And then afterwards, after the wave is finished, you know, as guys are spawning... Ooh, that was bad. As guys are spawning, make sure to, you know, to do a dash spin attack, and then you'll get all your wrath back and you can cast it again. Anywho, those flesh bursters, there's one or two more waves of that, I can't remember. And it's a problem because if you start dodging like a madman, you'll be left over with, you know, the third reset, that one, and then they'll mob you and you die. So you gotta be really careful in how that plays out. And you'll see what I do here. Here it is. Okay, so the key is to let them kind of like get near you, start to set to explode, not be an idiot like that. And the problem is they can cascade because you can like get one and get exploded, another one run up to you, explode, and then you can easily get caught in like a chain of flesh bursters. So just be careful. Okay, aphids. Oh, we love these things. That's right. That's the taste of my penis. Ooh, yeah. That was in bad taste, I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist.
So far. Is it the prize and freedom you want?
Nope.
Or more punishment?
More punishment. That is totally what I want. Wave 91. We're plowing through this thing like it's 1999. Oh, geez. Okay, just gotta get one. Oh, up. No, you don't. Okay, good. Another one of these. And then one of these. And one of these. And boom. I might get a little overzealous there with the frenzy, but hey, whatevs. Wave 92. Come on, there we go. Boom. And they're gone. Man, I don't know, like, I maybe just all leveled up now, these Frenzy or kick-ass. And I don't even have to use the Arcane Shield. Or, I'm sorry, Aegis Guard. There you just, you know, kick-ass on their own. Unless I cast it too early with not enough Wrath. But they seem to do just fine anyway. Although I'm going to start casting Aegis Guard just to have the security, if you will. Boom. All done. This is almost too easy. I'm curious how Absalom goes down at the end. We shall see. There we go. That's right. You fight Absalom at the end. How convenient is that? This is not like, you know, the group like, you know, Gorn, Garn, and Gorwood. That wave is ridiculous. Not really, because Frenzy is, or just this build is just crazy. Cry, cry. Yes, I just said cry, cry. I want to shoot myself as well, so don't have to do it for me. Don't worry. Okay. Wave down to 6. Oh, our favorite custodian. Oh, you're not taking a lot of damage. Boom. I should have done Aegis Guard as a security. There we go. Coolio. Ooh, sucks to be that guy. That Maker's soul stuck in a stone construct body. Sucks to be him. Getting towards the end, and here we got Gorwood again, who just got destroyed. See, like, come on, guys, this is ridiculous. Just, yikes. What level are you? I'm curious, actually. Level 32. See, they're even past level 30. They're just, but yeah, it doesn't matter. They just get destroyed. I keep on talking about how awesome I think this build is, but I think the results speak for themselves. Oh, this motherfucker. Get me that. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay, just to be safe. Oh, and I cast it accidentally. Cool. Alright, let's get some, because we have the potions, you know, why not be safe? Let's get some Wrath for Absalom. Get out of the way. Cast Frenzy. Get out of the way again. I guess Avatar of Chaos. Oh, we gotta do the... Right. We gotta do the cutscene moves. I guess that's what Frenzy will help us get to each of those, each of those stages, health midpoints a little bit quicker. But, oh shit. But it's gonna be tough to get in close to get enough wrath returned to use Frenzy. So that could be risky, so just be careful. But we seem to be doing just fine. And that limited number should do quite nicely. Ouch. Ouch. How you doing? How you doing? Oh. Good. I thought that was me. Oh god, that scared me. Oh, and we're done. Yeah, invisible crowd cheer. Abyssal Spalders. And achievement unlocked. Is there anyone else down there in the right-hand corner? Because this is on Steam. Because I don't want to do it 100 million. This game 100 million more times just to get the Xbox little clickety-clack. So this is just as good. The last and final piece of the Abyssal armor, the Abyssal Spalders. The Abyssal Spalders are a portion of the Four Horsemen's ultimate war gear. The rider wearing these armored shoulder guards is prepared for any challenge. And then the rest is the same as the rest. Okay. Assassin's Talisman. This talisman seized with eldritch power, eager to guide its wielder's aim. The Assassin's Talisman enhances its own owner's ability to slay his foes at range, ensuring that many foes are brought low before they even know what hit them.
I've never witnessed such power. You defeated me and all the creatures imaginable. That is beside my master. Go to him now.
Aftermath. Aftermath, the ultimate prize for the ultimate victor. Only the champion of the Crucible, one who's fought and defeated every enemy brought before him in that arena, is worthy of wielding this juggernaut. Wrested from the hands of the previous champion of the Crucible, Aftermath wreaks havoc on foes while constantly imbuing its owner with power for the fray. Not only does Aftermath increase its wielder's strength, but also restores health, wrath, and Reaper energy with every strike. Whoa. The end. That's right. The end. So you're also supposed to get Death, the last and final tarot card, if you will. However, for some reason, every time I play through the game, I got it already. I don't know why. It's supposed to happen after you defeat, all 100 waves, but before you defeat Wicked K. I'm not sure why I had it before. I seem to get it right around 25 on my multiple playthroughs. I didn't have to, unlock it there. It might be a glitch of the system or because I have DLC. I don't know what it is. But it also meant that I could jump to every stage of the Crucible after I unlocked that option. Meant I, went to wave 25. I quit out. Then as I went back to him, I said, I don't want to start from the beginning. I want to start from another stage. And then I had access to all the waves and Wicked K. And I'll show you that after we actually beat him. I don't know why I had it. And again, that did happen on the PC. It didn't happen on the Xbox. So it might be a PC-only thing as well. I'm not sure. But now we got our final awesome main game platforming sequence. So let's rock it, dudes. Right as I say that, of course I fuck up. But, whatever. We gotta pop our way to find the Wicked K. And now we're going up higher, and we're gonna go here. Good man. Good man, Death. Good man. Are you over there watching us? That's creepy, dude. That's creepy.
Death, you made it! I do admire your tenacity. I'm redecorating. I need your opinion. On guard, you boob!
I'm a boob? That's not a nice thing to say. Oh gosh. Wow. Okay, so yes, in case you're wondering, I died from Wicked K. He just kind of caught me off guard, and yeah. But anyway, it gives me the opportunity to show you guys this. I'm going to choose my own path. Stage 2, Stage 2, Stage 4, Wicked K. And then it's all going to disappear. We're going to go up the platforms. And I'll just cut to the top of Wicked K again so you don't even see me scale this monstrosity once more. So I've said this before, but the weakness of this build is definitely my defense and resistance. And as you saw, this motherfucker right here just destroyed me in like a couple of hits. So it's actually pretty simple. Just keep on dodging, stay out of his way, use your skills, like, you know, especially for me, the ghoulies, the frenzy, the murder. And there's a couple of, you know, openings in his attack cycle where he's vulnerable. So if you have those minions up, they'll just constantly attack him, and then when he opens up, they'll and take him out. See? Yep, just like that.
Remember me as a lover, not a fighter. Tea time!
The World. And not to mention Bravo Old Chap and BFA, our two final achievements. That's 49 and 50. So for you achievement hunters, this is game over. You're done. But for you Darksiders lovers, there's still plenty of DLC left to enjoy. And this chest here gives you some awesome stuff to enjoy it with. But let me give you a little background on Wicked K. So he was originally in Darksiders 1, if you remember, and you encountered him and gave you a whole bunch of souls. And he actually kind of represents the British element of Vigil Games, you know, all their British employees, including Hayden Dalton, the lead game designer. So it was kind of put in as a joke, and the characters were conceived as a joke, and so it was a very popular part of Darksiders 1, and now it, of course, is in Darksiders 2. So I think he's funnier in the first game than this one, but, I mean, On Guard, You Boob is instant classic. The Elemental Talisman. So, actually, this is kind of awesome. It increases your elemental damage by 19%. As far as I can tell, it's all elemental damage. So for us, that's, you know, from all our minions as well. So, I mean, that's nothing to sticker at. If you don't have the greatest talisman in the world that really complements the build that you have, then this one will definitely increase your damage output. You know what? Why not show off the awesomeness that is the Abyssal armor? You know, why not? Like I said, it's not the greatest equipment for my build, but hey, it looks freaking badass, I gotta say. And it was like cut off there. That's weird, dude. It's weird. And let's take a look at the world. Boom. Alright guys, so that's it for the main game. We've gone through New Game Plus, we've done the Crucible, we've done just about everything in the main game. All that's left is DLC. So, if you don't have any DLC, well then that's the end of the road for you. That's all the achievements, you know, because now the DLC has any achievements. And you can play the Crucible again, get some more loots. You can play through 1 through 100 and Wicked K again if you want. However, you won't get any legendary stuff again, like, you know, ML Talisman or Abyssal Helmet or whatever the hell this thing is. Or Pauldron, I meant. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This has been Kuddlesnot, and I'm signing off. If you'd like the spreadsheet guide to all these episodes, make sure you're a subscriber or like me on Facebook and send me a private message on either of those sites. And also stay tuned for the rest of the DLC. Alright, again guys, I've been Kuddlesnot. Thanks for watching. I'm signing off, and I see you again next time.